intrigued by this YouTube, which I saw, and I've clipped a portion of it. Now, it is about the Gnostic belief. And I'm sure if you're a Christian, of course, you will oppose the Gnostic belief. But for me, every form of belief is interesting. Not because it holds the truth, but rather it helps me to decode the world we lived in, and helps me to explain to you the kind of illusion that we are trapped in.
The key here is this: Gnostic texts describe the material world as a prison, not a paradise. It's meticulously crafted to keep souls locked into a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, and this isn't just metaphorical. This cycle, this endless loop, is meant to keep us busy, chasing things that ultimately mean nothing in the grand scheme. We're constantly on the hunt for meaning, status, relationships, possessions, but Gnostic thinkers would argue that these pursuits are traps, distractions designed to keep us from realizing our true, divine origin. Let's break down how this trap functions. The material world is full of desires, needs, and suffering, which pull our focus entirely outward. When you're constantly looking to fulfill basic needs or satisfy endless cravings, there's no time or headspace to question the nature of your reality. We're programmed to seek satisfaction in a world that, by design, can never truly satisfy. Because, in the Gnostic view, as long as we're focused on this endless cycle, we're unable to connect with our own divine spark, our gnosis. This knowledge, this awakening to our true nature, is the one thing that could set us free, and that's exactly why it's buried under layers of physical and emotional distraction.
In all my videos, I've mentioned about the word space-time. And in my videos, I say that we are the ones who create space-time. Deep inside me is the one reality. But the one reality shines the light. And what I'm seeing reflected from that one light is space-time. And space-time is a kind of reflection that comes with a distance and with a time. And because of this distance and time, it places upon us a trap. It's our own making. It is created by our own eyes. And we trap ourselves in that terrible desire, in that terrible search for meaning and fulfillment, which can never be obtained while we are inside space-time.
Every part of this system, from the body's needs to the social structures around us, feeds into this trap. We're raised to value success, relationships, material wealth. We're taught that these are the markers of a fulfilled life. But what if those markers are actually the bars of our cage? It's not just the physical body that binds us, it's the entire culture built around it, reinforcing the idea that fulfillment is always something external, something just beyond our reach.
And what's interesting about space-time is that space-time is always an external thing. It is what we see around us. So it's always external. It's not within us, but external. And in this space-time, we see wealth. In this space-time, we see things that we want to acquire. We see success that we want to climb. We see our popularity. We see a David Chiu, a name person like me, making grades in this world, having a career. It's in this space-time that I'm seeing myself in. And that's why the satisfaction of space-time is always from the outside. It's never from within. It's always from the outside. If you look at the space-time and you're inside space-time, you're looking for acclamation, you're looking for praises from people outside you, not from inside. Because space-time is distance and time, and it generates this idea that somebody is approving me, that somebody is raising me up. Not me, but somebody is doing it, and I'm dependent on that somebody to raise me up. And this is a trap, the trapping of space-time. And the illusion of life is a result of the idea and the belief that someone else is raising me up. And it's not me, but someone else. That I need a God. I need someone else to help me. The illusion of life is all about the search for something outside myself to elevate me up, when in truth, I don't need the outside. I just simply am me.
Let's talk about the demiurge, the so-called architect of this material world. So, who or what is the demiurge, really? The Gnostics envisioned it as a being with enough power to craft the physical universe, but lacking the wisdom or goodness to guide it meaningfully. In fact, the demiurge is often depicted as arrogant, mistakenly believing itself to be the supreme creator. Imagine that, a deity who's not only limited, but deeply ignorant, fully convinced it alone is God. The Gnostic texts present the demiurge as blinded by its own ego, unable to recognize that it's merely a fragment of a much greater cosmic truth. The demiurge rules by instilling a sense of limitation, a belief that what we see is all there is. Through a combination of religious dogma, social conditioning, and endless distractions, this system ensures we rarely, if ever, question the fundamental nature of reality. When you're told from birth that the material world is the ultimate truth, that success and survival are life's highest goals, it creates a mental prison as real as any physical one. But here's what makes this concept so profound. If the demiurge isn't the true creator, if it's merely a pretender enforcing a reality of limitation, then everything we think we know about existence could be a deception. The Gnostics viewed this as the ultimate betrayal, being led to believe that the entity demanding our worship and devotion is the source of life itself, when, in fact, it's the architect of our spiritual imprisonment.
I liked what the Gnostics have defined the demiurge. The Gnostics view the creator as a kind of a egoistic creator. Yes. And actually there's a reason for it. The reason is because this creator that we view in is actually created in our own mind. And because it's created in our mind, it's created as a reflection of our ego mind. So as a result, the God that we worship in contains us. The God that we worship in puts us into a limited ground and tells us that we can't do this, we can't do that, we got rules to follow, we got rules to do that, because that God which we create is our own God, created in our mind, is an ego God. And I liked what the Gnostic defined it as. They define it as demiurge. I define it simply as the mind-created God. I hope your mind can be opened slightly to a realization that the God that we create in our mind is a God that we deliberately create to be infinite. And the resultant fact of it is that I, a creation of this infinite God, is nothing. Isn't that right? Yes, that's correct. But actually, we create that God in our mind. The truth is simply that I am infinite myself. And I create this universe, but I couldn't realize it in myself. All around me, I see a body, and I felt my physical needs all the time, and I am perpetually contained by my thought to the idea of limitation. But in truth, I am the unlimited God, and I don't have to create a God out there that is unlimited and I a limited creature. The truth is that when I open my eyes, I see space-time, and space-time is limited by distance and by time. That's because I open my eyes and I'm looking at the world and I imagine myself in that world. But actually I'm not in space-time at all, right? I'm just seeing a world of space-time. I'm actually outside space-time altogether. I'm the creator of space-time. And therefore I'm limitless. And only space-time is limited. The solution of life is to discover the I am, the limitless one. And it's in every one of us. The problem is that we live in the space-time that we created in our mind. We live in our own thoughts. We couldn't get out of the thoughts and observe our thoughts from an outside viewpoint. But instead we lived in that thought and we are sucked in by that thought. We are trapped in space-time, and we see a world that is endlessly a struggle, and we couldn't find a time to discover the divine spark that is in all of us, that we are limitless. I welcome you to that limitless world. Follow my videos